Sagittarius, hi. So this is going to be a reading for July 22nd through the 28th, and I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. So, let's see, Saggy. What is going on? All right, the overall energy for the reading, the Five of Cups. There's a little sadness in there about something. I don't know what it is yet, but we shall see. In the recent past, the Lovers, the Hangman, the Four of Swords, there's a connection there. And there's a lot of healing through that connection, which I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we'll see. In the current situation, the Six of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands, you're going through a hardship here. There's a soul connection. I feel like it's a different one than what I see in the past, but it could be the same one. I don't know yet. But there's a little bit of hardship here, for sure. Maybe that's why the sadness. But in the immediate future, the Three of Swords, the Justice card, the High Priestess, you feel like you have to bring balance to a situation, and it might bring up some pain when you do that. But it's one of those things of, even if it hurts, this is kind of the best thing for everybody involved, or at least for you. But I don't know. But okay. Let's see. Let's do the Five of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands. Something, the sadness is tied up to something you're working on. And I feel like whatever it is that you're working on is kind of dropping in energy, in the sense of either you're not putting as much energy as you used to in this, or it's just kind of organically, naturally kind of going south, and it's just not working out, whatever it is. And it could even be a project you're working on, so it doesn't have to be a relationship of any sort, or but there's definitely a quite the clear energy of this is kind of not working out so well, you know. Okay, let's do the Lovers. In the recent past, the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Cups. Really, really attached to whatever this is, really caring for this. But it does seem to struggle, this situation. You seem to struggle within the situation. You know? Where even if if there's one clear thing about the situation, is there you care for whoever this is a lot. Anything else, not so clear, you know, in the way you perceive it, in the way you approach the situation. Let me do the Hangman. Why are there, I see two energies intermingled somehow. Why is it? But it's showing up more like, I'll give you the most clear example that comes to mind, even though it doesn't have to be that, but it's one of those, let's say you met someone and you're kind of considering, this feels good to me, this is everything I've ever looked for, and it's looking like, oh my god, it's heading somewhere, but you have kids, you know, and it's like anything you do with that, you always have that other energy in the back of your mind, your kids. So it's kind of like that. Of course, this could be something else. It doesn't have to be exactly in that direction, but there's two energies here. One that you're looking at and you feel connected to from your heart, and there's another one that's always in your heart, but it's kind of to the side of your whole story with this one. You know what I mean? There's a sense of deception somewhere in there, in the mix. And I can only see that happening if, let's say, we're going back to the example with the kids, and then you say, okay, this feels good to me, but I got to think of my kids. And then you're like, well, you know, you'll find something. I don't know. They live 1,000 miles away, and you would have to move with your kids, and then the kids would have to start a new life someplace else, and then, you know, all of that jazz. And then you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it. I have to think of my kids and my kids' happiness. Which, fair. At the same time, did you ask your kids? You know, did you have some sort of, well, they're too young, I get to decide for them. Okay. But like, you just sacrificed your chance to happiness that you consider to be your chance to happiness because you are thinking for your kids. You know, I know that's usually the way it kind of goes as a general rule, but that doesn't necessarily make it right, because it's like there's something deceptive about this where you're kind of not involving yourself 100% in this energy right here, because this energy that's to the side, I don't even know if they're saying or doing anything. You think they are. And based on what you think, they might think you're not going to go. You know what I mean? So that's where the deception lies. So again, this doesn't have to be that situation of you and someone and then you have kids. This could even be a best friend. You know, what would they think if I did this? I'm not going to do it because they probably wouldn't agree or something. You know, something like that. Okay. Too much of a mix of energy. For the Four of Swords in the recent past, you get the Nine of Wands, the Star, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you're sacrificing something of yours because of whatever you're tied up to on this side. But this side has nothing to do with this side. But somehow you kind of put them together, and then you let this side decide for that side, and it's not right. Not from where I'm sitting, at least. Because it almost feels like a sacrifice. And then who's the hero in this? You are, because you just sacrificed something. But are you really? You just sacrificed your happiness. How does that make you a hero, you know? And then, yeah, I don't know. It's a little complicated in there, I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, the conclusion is, why let this side decide for this side when you're in charge of both sides, ultimately, you know? But anyway, Six of Cups. You get the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Swords. That's not good. Because, okay, we're going to go back to the example with the, that feels good, but the kids, but because, okay, let's say you decided that. I'm not going to go there because, you know, the kids. Somehow, this becomes, you know, you sacrificing that chance to happiness becomes the kid's fault. From what I can see here. And it's like, how is it their fault? You know, it's a very, everything plays out at such a subconscious level that you're not even seeing these things playing out. You may feel them here and there, but you wouldn't define them necessarily as that, because I decided that I'm not going to go there because of this situation here. This situation here is to blame for me losing my chance to happiness. And it's like, does that make sense? Truly? Because I don't think that it does. Let's do the Ten of Wands. You get the Lovers, the Fool, the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. And regret shows up, and all sorts of things start to pop up. In the sense of, I may have missed my chance to, you know, to go in that direction and have something there. Okay. Well, let's do the Page of Wands. The Emperor, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Okay. You're kind of... This is definitely you spinning around in a vicious, blaming game kind of a pattern here, by the looks of it. And then at some point you snap out of it and you're like, okay, let's proceed. As if nothing happened, as if you weren't even there, which is kind of signaling to me that this is not the first time you've done this, probably. If it's so natural, if it comes so natural and then you just snap out of it. So this is definitely a pattern that is shown up. The blame game pattern. Let's do the Three of Swords. In the immediate future, you get the Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Temperance card. Something's not right about this whole situation because you make it look so natural. You make it look so as if okay, this happened and now we're kind of resetting and we're starting over and we're fine. And you are looking like you're fine. That's not the issue. The issue is, why does it seem so natural? Because that over there, from here, from this angle, it looks a little bit like a shit show. It looks a little bit like, why would you have to put yourself through this? If you obviously know how to do it different too. Because it's a pattern. Let's do the Justice card. But that's the thing. That's my issue. Okay, you can do this all you want. If you snap out of it and then it's like, okay, it never happened, it doesn't affect me, but it does affect you. That's where my worry comes into, because I'm like, oh, okay, that's where it is. Because it does worry you, because you actually carry that energy with you. You're not healing it, you're not transmuting it, and you're not working on it. So a pattern is going to show up 100 times until you actually notice it and see that, this is not healthy for me. Let me look into it. Let me heal it. You know, and then as you start healing it, it's not going to affect you. And otherwise, you just take that energy with you over and over and over and over again every time it happens. And it's not the healthiest energy. You know, it's like harming yourself through all of these patterns. We're actually harming ourselves. And even though we snap out of it because we're so used to these patterns that we don't even see how unhealthy they are sometimes, we're just going to go about our day as if nothing happened. But it happened, and the energy of that what that pattern does, we take it with us. You know? That's how we get sick, that's how we get all sorts of things that we don't feel good about. But who's going to look into that? I don't know, it never happened, so why would I? But it did happen, and it's here as an energy that you're picking up, you're taking with you. Think of it as a little resentment building up. You know, slowly but surely, with each of these patterns coming through, it's building up a little more now. You do it again, a little more then. You do it again, a little more then. And then it builds up into all sorts of things. As I said, this is the type of energy that can get you physically sick. Not only, you know, mentally, spiritually, you know, physically. It can add up to something here. So that's what it was. I'm like, hold on, you make it look so natural as if nothing is happening, and then, oh, wait a minute, something is happening. For the High Priestess, you get the Three of Pentacles, the Moon, the Knight of Wands. That's interesting. This is, oh almost reflecting a sense of taking for granted connection of some sort. So this could apply, this pattern, you could come and, you know, come out with this pattern within a dynamic that's very forgiving, you know, very, oh, okay, Sag is going to blame me again for not achieving this, that, or the other. So, okay, that's fine. You know, Sag has a good heart, so I'll forgive them. It's just something that they're not seeing that they're doing. So, what is this? What is this? Because this is playing out definitely in a sense in a partnership that you have here. And I don't even know what kind of a partnership, but you would see this pattern showing up there, you know? And you, again, subconsciously, you take this for granted because it's like, well, you know, they didn't say anything the first 10 times it happened. They're probably not going to say anything if I do it again. All of everything that I'm seeing here, it's happening at an energetic level where you would be potentially maybe 5% tops aware that you're even doing this. But if you go back and look at your close relationships and try to pinpoint, try to find this, you know, because it's going to play out very different every time, but try to find it, you'll probably find it. So, just so you know. Busted. Let me see what the universe has as a final advice for you. 3 of Cups, the Hermit, the King of Swords. Yeah, that's where it's presenting itself. In your closest relationships, and those types that we usually take for granted, like families, sister, brother, I don't know, very close, that we think, you know, this is kind of unbreakable, even though everything is breakable, but we take it as that. We take it as, that's why it's called that, we're taking it for granted, you know? So closest relationships to you, if you look at those, try to figure out where this pattern comes in, you know? And then just try to figure out how good it is for you. Because even though it may not show up as a big deal, it does show up, at least in this reading, as energy building up slowly but surely. Unhealthy energy that you take with you as you go. And then you build some more on that, and then some more, and then some more. And as I said, it can even show up as at these types of patterns that build up like that, they can show up as physically making us ill or something, you know? So, but anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.